Welcome to Guillens World. It's another episode from the Man Cave. I got the legend, Ozzie Guillen, the little legend, One Guillen. A very exciting, packed week in the world of baseball.
And you thought we weren't getting
Wait a minute. The Real Madrid lost. That's why you got that thing backwards?
I got some fresh,
you know how to pray.
I got some fresh gear.
By the way, Real Madrid is probably going to win La Liga. That's for another Guillens World episode of soccer in La Liga. But we're going to go jump right into it. Umpires. Joe West, the legend. Cowboy Joe West, probably one of the funniest, greatest umpires of all time. I'm going to say this right now. All umpires suck. Okay? Some umpires are good sometimes. Some umpires are bad sometimes. Some umpires are great sometimes. Joe West was on the field 4,000 times.
Wow.
More than that.
More than 4,000 times, okay? There was a list of guys that he ejected. Ozzie Guillen was on the top of the list with a bunch of other Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers. But you weren't the one who got thrown out the most. A lot of guys got thrown out 3 times. But Cowboy Joe West, if you like it or not, he is a Hall of Famer.
Hell yeah.
I was hearing people say that he wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Who say that?
Writers.
Oh, my God.
Writers were saying that he was not a Hall of Famer.
Why?
Maybe they didn't like him being a Cowboy. We're talking about him. He should be a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
You do anything for that long,
Anything.
good or bad.
By the way,
he's an umpire that everyone knows his name. Well, I feel like if you know an umpire's name, that is never a good sign.
Here's the thing, though, Ozzie. I want to ask you because you played again. I'm only 37, so I'm a younger guy, so I can't say I might have seen Joe West in his prime. So I saw Joe West when he was thin. You saw Joe West as like a thinner Joe West. Maybe his personality has always been bad, but do you think like out of all the umpires, do you really have Joe West as being like that bad, or he was just a guy that was always around controversy? Was he that bad?
No, it was around controversy. You know why? Because he's go by the rules the right way. He don't care who you are and what you do. They don't care you're a rookie or you're a Hall of Famer. He go by the same. By the way, people count the games was in the season. How about spring training?
Oh, yeah.
How about minor leagues?
Yeah.
About winter league?
I'll tell you something about Joe West. Remember, he told you in Cleveland, he didn't even say a word. He said,
just like
get
that.
back in the dugout.
Yeah.
And Ozzie said, oh, you don't tell me where I can go.
I wish I could say what I say to him in there.
I was in Cleveland.
You could probably say it, but you probably
very unrespectful.
He threw you out, and then he probably threw a guy. I don't know if that was Burley's only ejection.
No, yes. he's had more because of hitting a guy, but never for.
Right.
Well, so anyway, Joe, whoever's out there, whoever is out there saying Joe West is not a Hall of Fame, please hang your spikes and go home.
Or your pen, because I think John Heyman was one of the guys that said he was.
John Heyman, the clown.
No, he did. Yeah, he said that.
He said he wasn't.
Joe Heyman. He's Ozzie Guillen. You don't remember me? By the way, who paid you?
MLB Network.
Who paid you? Who paid you? Whoever paid you, they are shame. Who paid you to say that? How crazy? I'm not going to say Joe Heyman because your name come up here. I know a lot of people. How stupid you can? How idiot?
It wasn't just John Heyman. People were talking about it. And again, I have a shirt right now. The Sammy screw job.
Yes,
you can get it on the site because I think Sammy got screwed. Sammy's screw job. But if Joe West does not get in, a guy when we're talking about guys that got in that didn't get in, this is what I respect about Joe West.
It's the best part of the game.
No, about the law. Somebody made a comment. Okay, about Joe West and umpiring and giving calls to guys.
Oh, yes.
And cars being driven.
Yes.
And Joe West went and sued.
This is Paul Duca.
Paul, great guy. Rumors started going around, and Joe West did what all real dudes know when they got guilty.
They went.
They
have to do it. Oh, you talking about me?
You're talking about
me?
You. Lawsuit, okay, over with. Wasn't no like, oh, this guy, he just went, and his personality, and Bruce Levine said it best, because Bruce said he is a Hall of Famer. And Bruce and I don't agree on a lot of things, but on this we agree. In a game where color personalities are going away, guys like Joe West make the game better because there's color in the game, the way they call the game.
Yes.
I think it makes it fun. I think we're going to miss umpires if they go away.
Yes. By the way, every umpire out there is just standing right now or in the middle or look up to Joe West. Mm-hmm. By the way, Ozzie Guillen say that. The guy got more argument about Joe West.
He got thrown out 3 times.
Criticized. No, I'm maybe. By
the way, but the list, so it's all great managers.
Yeah, but the thing is, they one last longer.
Yeah.
But the list is can be longer somebody else. But whoever say Joe West is not a Hall of Fame, it's a shame, man.
But as the umpire, as the managers that he threw out, all the guys on that list would say that he's a Hall of Famer.
Everybody.
Because many times.
What's the idiot's name? The clown?
Mr. Heyman.
Mr.
Heyman. Okay, all the big boys, including myself, have spent 20 years in baseball competing and against Joe West a lot of time, say you Hall of Famer. Who are you? You even play with you boogers.
Your boogers? Oh, God.
Before we jump into the next topic, anyone that devotes their life
to the game.
Yes.
Like that.
You should be celebrated, and he should just get automatically respect. But
yes,
congratulations to my guy, and don't get me mad now because I say he's my guy and Ozzy was an
Joe.
No, last. Oh
yes,
crew chief Laz. Laz is a crew chief. Angel did not get made.
Angel, it can.
Well,
after all the problems with the lawsuit, baseball.
But I'm saying though, Laz made it. Soon MLB. He's a crew chief though. So for Laz, when I see him in the game at the ballpark as a crew chief, I will tip my cap because again, umpires work very hard. But talking about umpires, this guy is probably not going to make it to the big leagues. This footage isn't from Dominican Republic, and I have to say where it's from. It could happen anywhere. We've been in a men's league where we know our friends gone in scuffles with teams in the parking lot because he is a man before he's an umpire.
Well, I'm sure.
But in this one,
this is stuff that I'm sure.
By the way, you know how many times everybody wear a uniform want to do this?
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
This is just
That's the time.
Well, I want to ask a question. Only I know, and I want you to touch. So you saw it live in college. You saw a guy knock out an umpire.
I saw it live in summer baseball. And the game got called.
The game got called. You said
yes, and the umpire dropped to the floor. Game was canceled. It's something that if you've played baseball or any sport at any level, just a couple of days ago, we saw a referee getting choked out by the coach. Emotions.
That's wrong.
Emotions boil over.
No.
But we've seen crazy stuff. I would love, if this is in an alternate meta universe world, I would love if MLB was like hockey and you said, he's out. Best man wins. You drop your gloves or your batting gloves and says, whoever wins, the call goes the right way. Say that's a horrible call. Let's fight it out. You get one fight a game. You get one fight a game. And it would be great because everything goes, bad call, ding, ding. You fight for 30 seconds. Whoever wins gets the call going their way. Whoever loses,
as you know, but it's nothing. Nobody in any umpire, any video, going to be my man. El Lobito from Mexico.
Oh, he was just drinking, fighting people.
Oh, the guy that was drunk on the side.
How you know? We say he was drunk. We don't know.
We don't know. We didn't, there was no alcohol test. No, but again, though, this argument, and again, I'm gonna make a comment for everybody as a player and as a coach in any level. And Ozzy can attest to this because he did it at the highest level. I think that you need to get to a point where you need to be a bigger adult and step back so you don't hit him.
That's hard to do.
That's hard.
I only did it one time.
I went to Venezuela.
No,
oh my God.
Venezuela used to get more mad because the guys didn't know the rules, and I think they were picking on you. But the only time I told Joey Cora, go get him.
In San Francisco,
in Kansas City.
Kansas City.
You stayed out there. It was hot. You were kept going. No, because in my head I said. In my head, I'm saying I hope he doesn't black out and oppose the offer.
No, because
you were getting legitly. You were going from.
What happens when you get on the street
really mad.
or you're at Walmart or
you black out?
You get upset, and then your next reaction is
you go to black out.
A physical. No, it's going to be a physical altercation. First, you start cursing, and then you start swinging.
Usually,
but in MLB,
by the way,
sports,
I got in trouble.
You can't throw punches.
I got in trouble. Because I say in the paper, and I think Major League Baseball was right to punish me like that because I say
Phil Cousy.
I say, listen, if you have any problem against my team or me personal, I wait for you in the parking lot.
Yeah, that was a good fine. I agree with Major League Baseball.
Major League Baseball did a good job.
You shouldn't have been able to say that.
I say, I wait for you in the parking lot, and we can resolve this problem man to man. Why you not show up?
No, Phil, by the way, I'm not gonna lie about this. When you made that comment, Phil Cousy was pretty jacked.
Pretty what?
He's pretty jacked.
By the way, the way I was mad, you better bring Mike Tyson.
No, I know, but I like the fact that the league fined you for that.
Yeah, and they don't do anything to him.
I know, but again, we can go into the rules of like the league.
Whatever they're arguing right now with the owners and the players, I would love for umpires, add that in there. Umpires for also to be suspended.
Yeah.
For also to be held
accountable. They do, but don't take it. They say we take the money away.
No.
To wait 2 days suspension.
At the end of the year, I want umpires to have stats.
How many guys?
Who is the worst umpire in the league? This guy. Angel, now we're gonna
But
use
you know what? But
I'm
it's
saying,
hard.
If you miss calls, or if you, how many calls have you missed this month? And I wanted to
Only.
be statistically.
The Major League Baseball, they know the umpires. They're not.
And we don't want robots.
They're not perfect.
We don't want robots.
No. But how about that? They help them to make the call right.
Oh, they got video now.
Okay, thank you. Now in the minor league, it's something stupid thing I never seen in my life. In baseball, when they say robots is going to be behind the plate calling strike and ball, I know the umpires, they're not perfect.
By the way,
not good, but that's
if we want robot umps, what do we want robot writers?
I think it's better.
I'm saying we got algorithms. You got the box score. They do it with the app Game Changer. You put the box score. They give you,
especially when somebody out there,
or say Hall of Fame algorithm. If you hit these check boxes,
the same way I asked Kusi. Was it Kusi?
Yeah.
The same way I say that they punish me pretty good. I buy. What's the guy's name?
Phil. John. Mr. Heyman.
When you see me around the ballpark, go walk another way.
He's never around.
No.
He's smarter than
but I walk another way because I will embarrass you in front of everybody the way I did it in the World Series.
Okay, here we go. So, next topic: ESPN 100 list. I'm going to say something right off the bat on this list. Okay, we're not going to cover it all in one segment because it's 100 players. Number one, this list did not consider any issues off the field, including steroids, including suspensions from the league. This list was just thrown out there by ESPN, like the top 100 list according to ESPN, and nothing has caused more controversy than this list. Because
does anything jump out at you? What jumps out at you?
Well, Adrian Beltre at 97 and Jim Thome at 98, and Sammy Sosa, screw job. I'm just looking. My whole thing is Sammy not being on the list.
Okay,
how can you hit 600 home runs and not be on the list?
And that's the other thing. There's guys on this list, great players, obviously. Manny Ramirez tested positive for steroids, but this list obviously didn't care about.
This is a free list.
So there's a free list. So
why you know why? Because shoot, let's Joe Jackson is here.
Why is Sammy Sosa won an MVP? Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz never won an MVP in their leagues. Sammy Sosa hit 60 home runs 4 years in a row. Like, how is he really? There's 100 guys better than him. I don't know. What is it about Sammy? Was it because he tried to get his skin lightened? Why is he not on the list?
This is the best one. This is the best one. This is the best one, and everybody go to follow us because follow us, please. Derek Jeter, Pujols is behind Derek Jeter, and he's behind, and Mariano Rivera. No, I'm sorry, Albert Pujols is behind Derek Jeter.
And by the way, nobody loves Derek Jeter more than the family. But
Derek would tell you himself.
He would tell you himself. Albert. Remember, people are prisoners of the moment. People think about Albert Pujols of Anaheim. Albert Pujols was a machine. Literally, they gave him that nickname. If it wasn't for a guy named Barry Bonds, who's, I don't know, number 8 on the list, I don't know how that is, how he's that high on the list, he would have more MVPs. Albert Pujols was a force to be reckoned with in the National League. He would have more MVPs, and he was also a winner.
I have a question. This is a good one.
He was also
you agree with the number one?
Yes. Well, I think Babe Ruth.
You did?
Well, because this is where the list gets hard. The eras are different.
Right. I never saw Babe play.
But Babe Ruth in the era when he played, he was better. He was Barry Bonds of his era. So I think the list.
He never how many bases steal?
No. I'm saying he was a different type of player. He pitched.
Okay.
I'm saying though, I think that in his era he was better than most teams, like home runs wise and that. The full player, I think Willie Mays.
Yeah, we talked about
Willie, Babe Ruth. The list should say. I think the list should go Babe Ruth, Willie, Barry Bonds.
I just think when I make a list of baseball players, I would want my baseball player to be able to do it all.
Correct.
Basically, run, catch, throw. That's why I think Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, Mickey Mantle, Barry Bonds, those guys are high on the list.
Tell me here really quick. Where's Roger Clemens here?
Oh, he's there.
He's there.
He's there, number 17.
Number 17.
Roger Clemens. And Greg Maddux better. 14. Yeah, Roger Clemens better.
Pedro's the highest.
Wait a minute. Maddux is better than Roger Clemens.
According to the list.
I would, in my personal opinion, I would disagree with that. I think his 7.
That's what I say.
But obviously, Maddux did it. He was a great at his craft.
But again, this list is hard because when you start comparing.
By the way,
Alex Rodriguez. Okay, Alex Rodriguez was a shortstop who hit over 600 home runs.
He's better than all these guys. He
was prime in his position, meaning he could do everything. Hit for power, hit for average, hit 356 his first in the league. There's no way. I think even with no steroids, whatever you call it, I don't think there's 26 guys that were better than A-Rod at baseball. I wouldn't put him in. You don't have to put him in the top 10 if you don't have to, but you got to put him in the least.
So is there 46 players?
Joe Morgan. Wait a minute. Joe Morgan, number 30. Where's Joe Morgan here? 37.
He's in front of Jackie Robinson.
And
Joe Morgan's one player in front of Jackie.
yes, and Jackie Robinson. All those guys do the thing. And those guys, you know what to Google that.
So
now,
you know who's in there that should not be that high? Nolan Ryan at 47.
And also, Mike Trout shouldn't be. Mike Trout's is gonna be all time.
Easy.
I don't think he should be 15th already. How old is Mike Trout?
Oh, that's way too low.
Mike Trout is
he cannot be.
By the way, Mike Trout might not play anymore.
Mike Trout could break his leg tomorrow,
or become a crystal meth addict.
Right.
Like, you don't know.
But Mike Trout,
Albert Pujols,
he shouldn't be 15th because yes, we have so much more to see.
So I'm going to give you how good Albert Pujols is. Albert Pujols is in a special place where Miguel Cabrera gets trampled by Albert Pujols. That's how big.
And this is something that Miguel himself has said.
This is the best.
He is the
Roy Halladay, rest in peace. He's better than John Smoltz.
And he's not better than, and I'll say it. I need any day of the week, Manny Ramirez over Big Papi. Me.
in an open list.
Me in an open list.
Well, Big Papi didn't play a position.
Manny Ramirez was.
Oh wow!
Was David Ortiz ever better than Manny Ramirez in a lineup?
No.
Who you more feared?
No.
Manny Ramirez also played left field. Quite awful, but he did.
Was he that bad? By the way, I have a question. Was Manny that bad when he was at Cleveland as an outfielder?
No, I think
Manny Ramirez has always been a supreme talent. He was good when he got to the Indians, when he was skinny Manny. Well, David Ortiz got traded. They're almost going to release him with Minnesota. Manny Ramirez, people like, can you forget Manny Ramirez? Was
Sammy Sosa, brother.
So Sammy's not on the list. So Miguel Cabrera, okay, again, with all due respect to Mike Trout, Miguel's going to hit 3,000 hits to next year, this season.
500 home runs.
500 home runs. So if you're on the list and you have 3,000 hits, you should be ahead of everybody. And 500 home runs,
yes,
you should be ahead of like. So I don't think in my head, and again, I don't think
Vladimir Guerrero is 77.
77.
He's like 15 steps after Big Papi.
Correct. That's crazy.
Like, really, if you put Vladimir Guerrero in a uniform and put Big Papi in a uniform and say, who do you think the better baseball player is? I guarantee you, everyone's going to say, I'll go with Vlad.
Well, do you think Ichiro's number 46?
No, because people also make this mistake. Vladimir Guerrero and other people didn't have the opportunity, like Derek Jeter, to play in the playoffs.
And Barry Bonds.
So that is
Barry Bonds and
so
Big
that is why people have this thing about Big Papi. He was in the playoffs all the time, and he delivered in the clutch. Yes, he did. But I'm saying, pound for pound, you really think Vladimir Guerrero is not a better baseball player than David Ortiz?
Oh, yes.
Come on. Like, that's obvious. But some guys have the opportunity to play in the playoffs and be seen by more people and have success. And some guys play in Montreal. They play in Anaheim. People don't get to see them.
By the way, they should give them more credit.
Right.
Because they play for a losing team.
And I was like, these guys, I'm like, wow.
Do you know who's hitting behind Vladimir Guerrero in Montreal?
Yeah, exactly. We don't know.
Orlando Cabrera, Jose Vidro.
No, Jose Vidro was in front of him.
I'm saying, no, behind you, whatever. Do you know the people that hit behind by David Ortiz?
The first
was David Ortiz ever the best player on his team?
No, not to me.
David Ortiz lost an MVP to Dustin Pedroia.
Yes.
Was David Ortiz better than Manny anytime he was on the team?
Not for me.
I'm just saying, though. So that makes you think and saying, so he's, again, I don't want to get on the list.
If Davey had to be in that list, yes. Not from those guys.
By the way, there's a lot of guys on this list. Okay, so where's Juan Gonzalez in that list?
Yes.
I'm just saying, though.
Check the numbers.
Check the book. Check the numbers.
Check the numbers.
500 home runs. Is it going to be like a thing? So
hey, wait a minute. We forgot the best one. The best one. Where's Rafael Palmeiro there?
Rafael Palmeiro's on the list.
Okay, yeah.
Eddie Murray.
Okay. Rafael Palmeiro.
Eddie Murray's not there.
Rafael Palmeiro, 500 home runs, 3,000 hits. He's on any baseball list. He's on and he played first base, and he's got gold gloves. Why is it Rafael Palmeiro? Because he tested positive in 2005.
There's a lot of people here.
There's a couple guys here.
Where is Rafael Palmeiro on this list?
Rafael Palmeiro.
Who's the other guy you said?
Rafael Palmeiro was
somebody else.
Eddie Murray.
Eddie Murray.
500 home runs, 3,000 hits. Eddie Murray's on the list.
Sweet cheater.
Is Dave Winfield on this list?
Yes, he is. I see
Yes,
it.
yes.
Good.
Well, I don't. Jimmy.
But I don't think. Hey, by the way, I don't think that Winfield was better than Eddie Murray.
No, he wasn't.
Sorry.
No, he wasn't.
Nope.
Wait,
But
why
he
is
played-
Eddie Murray? How is Eddie Murray not on this list?
Eddie Murray was better than Robin Young,
Yes, he was.
and Robin Young is there.
Yes, he was. So again, a list that oversaw people. Let us know what you think about this list. If you want anything Guillens, go to Guillens.world. Everything that you want from the Guillens is there. Our friends from Hume, check them out. Deodorant, not antiperspirant. That's not the ball stuff, Ozzy. We're doing Hume right here. Check the antiperspirant. Check it out. Smells great. All natural.
By the way I'm sweating right now, talking about that list, I will wear 3 of these.
3 of these?
Yes.
So one topic, we're going to get into this. We wanted to talk a little bit about, obviously, what's happening in the game of baseball right now. The ESPN Top 100 list, we're going to talk more about it because it's a list that, in my eyes, it sucks. Okay? Not a good list. Who's making these lists? Again, are you bored and you're just going to throw a list out there? Vladimir Guerrero Jr. made comments about it, which he was very upset about the list, about guys that got snubbed, like Sammy Sosa, the same screw job. Yeah.
Yes, look at this. That's a
Vlad
That's
Jr.
it.
said true.
Yeah, Vlad Jr. said something.
Good for him.
Major League Baseball, okay, has come out with a statement actually a few days ago, that because of the lockout, they're no longer testing guys for steroids.
And the 20 years passed.
20 years, there's the first time ever from the agreement that there's going to be a stoppage to steroids. This means 2 things. Right now, guys can't get randomly called to get tested. And number 2, that means that the CBA could have implications of what type of testing we're going to do in the future. This comes in a couple weeks away from guys that did not get into the Hall of Fame because of steroids. This comes after the fact that a couple guys allegedly got popped right before this thing got stopped. They got tested before. This opens a huge window, people. Google it. I am not a doctor. Don't want to get canceled like Joe Rogan. I'm not putting out misinformation. Google how drugs and steroids work. If you do cycles with doctors early, let's say tomorrow, they can give you enough time by the time spring training comes around that when you get tested, you don't have to have it in your system anymore. So now you're opening up the book. When a guy comes a little bigger, when a guy comes out a little bigger, if you watch Screwball, Manny got popped. The doctor says Manny got popped because
he didn't use it the right way.
He didn't use it the right way. He messed up the testing date. You can watch a show, I forget, Eucharist, I think it's called, about the guy that does the drug testing from Russia. And he basically does the blood testing. The guy like flies on an airplane, they do the blood test. There's ways around it. Again, I'm not an expert in it. If you do this the right way.
Says the guy that's got Lance Armstrong on his wife.
I got the Lance. He knows. Lance, again, Lance did it. He did it the right way. I'm just saying, though, you're going to see guys coming this year, maybe a little bit stronger, maybe a little bit better season. And in the back of your head, if you don't believe in Santa, okay, if you don't believe in Santa Claus, you're going to be thinking, ooh, did he do something? You have to, because if there's no testing, I'll give you an example. Maybe I'm not Robin Cano because Robin's a 2-time offender. But everybody else, after I saw that Big Papi, if he was nice, I might get in. I might say, you know what? No, maybe not a Hall of Fame career, like not a big name guy. But if I'm a guy that's in the bottom and I need to make a big contract,
or survive,
I'm going to tell you something, guys. If there's millions of dollars on the being played for there,
I will do it. I
will say, and I tweeted it, and people were like, "Why are you saying that?" And I said, because I love the steroid era. I'm saying it. You want to beat the shift? When you hit the ball over the fence, no shift can stop that. The steroid era was amazing. Just like World Wrestling Federation was better when there was guys juicing in the 80s and 90s. Baseball was more fun with guys juicing in the juicing era, and baseball came back from it. So, our writer's going to ignore it for the next 20 years. We don't know this. We don't know what kind of testing is going to come out. But now this might be a bargaining chip, because what we saw Mad Max said, Max Scherzer, okay, all 3 of us thought that the union was going to take whatever they gave them and they were not going to fight or hide. They're not hiding. They're swinging, fighting. So this lockout might be longer than we were expecting it. So no drug tests. We're going to see some problems
before the show today. I'll be honest with you, I talked to a few people out there. now I really, when they asked me about it, I was the guy who was, I don't think they're going to start maybe 1 week later, maybe 1 week late, the spring training. Now I'm really worried about they might take a little bit longer.
Which would be really a shame because of what the league has survived and the league has done better. Not sure what's going on with baseball right now. They're going to let all that momentum go to waste. As far as the steroids thing goes, I personally always said, you want steroids to stop in the game? Just cancel the contract. Say you get popped with steroids.
I say that when I was managing.
You just put it on every contract. You
get the league minimum.
You get popped with steroids. You don't get any money for the rest of the year.
That's it.
No money. Because one thing those players want is their money. You get popped, no money. That's it. Whether that be a minor league guy or MLB guy. That's it. You get popped 2 times, you're banned from the game.
I think so. They should do that. That's
very simple. No money. I
say science. I say science. Science is so. Science. The people study that. Scientists. They so good now and get better.
There's ways around.
They might put oil.
Well, by the way, everyone thinks. Okay, this is a part where I think people, and I'm going to make this comment after, because I know one thing for sure. I don't know if guys are going to be saucing, but I know guys are going to have fresh balls if they use Manscaped.
Well, you got that right.
Support for the Guillens is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in man's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Manscaped recently launched the Ultimate Men's Hygiene Bundle, the Performance Package. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you. 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code GuillensWorld at manscaped.com. If my math is correct, that's about 8 million balls.
8 million balls. Guillens 20. The code is Guillens 20. Ozzie Guillen did not wear a cup in the minor leagues. Wore a cup in the big leagues. If he would have had this, he would have had fresher balls.
Hey, by the way, I used it last week, and your mom goes, where you was in last 40 years?
If it was 1991, I might believe it.
There you go.
He hasn't been around there a while.
Yeah. Manscaped getting Ozzie action.
Thank you, Manscaped.
Manscaped making it again. Guys are going to have fresh balls. But here's the thing, though. People are not going to. You're not buying the steroids, okay? Maybe the dumb guys are. The guys that are having, no one's going to Gold's Gym or another gym and saying, hey, looking for the guy that's most ripped and saying, inject me with this. Whenever I see a guy that's like from Latin America, those are the guys who always get injected, like putting like horse tranquilizer or something like horse steroids or something off the thing. If you do it legitly, you go to a doctor like in Screwball, the movie, go see it. Billy Corbin's movie. It's on all the streaming channels. Screwball. Watch it. You go to a doctor, you put the thing in there. Look at me. My gut doesn't go away. I already told my wife, get a little extra money.
So you're going to be on the juice and you're going to be Manscaped.
Yeah. I'm going to be deadly. I'm going to get the sauce. Why not? My testosterone's low. You know, I got little man boobs. Sauce it up. Sauce it up.
Suck it up.
No, you can suck it out and then sauce it up. Again, people think about steroids. They're thinking like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like everyone has to be ripped. No. You can go to a doctor and say, I want to be a little. By the way, why do guys in the Olympics take steroids? Who always gets popped in the Olympics?
Sprinters.
Weightlifters too. Do you think sprinters are doing it the same steroids that weightlifters are? No. So there might be some guys that are doing it that are for speed. Swimmers. Again, people are their minds are so limited. They think steroids. They think guys like the WWE. They just want to do it to look good. Like
it's just because I think it's because you recover faster.
You recover faster. You can work out faster in the gym.
We all read Juice by Jose Canseco.
We all read Juice by Jose Canseco. Guys think right now, Jose Canseco is just as powerful as a speed coach or whatever.
Yes.
Because there's no testing. That's why Jose got popular, because it's like when you have good drugs, okay? When you have good drugs, you go to the good drug dealers. Jose had all the good stuff in the 80s. So everybody was like, hey, Jose, what's up? Just like when you're hitting, hey, man, can I borrow your bat? What kind of bat you using? That's how companies get big. Yeah, Ichiro Suzuki's bat became legendary because Ichiro had it. SSK. I use the SSK. I think I have one extra hit.
Hey, by the way,
how many SSKs?
I thought that would help, and I played with Tony Wynn back in San Diego back in the days, and rest in peace. And I was trouble. And on the son, I told Tony, I said, man, can you give me some B267? You bet. Tony Wynn, 390. Ozzie Guillen, 225. That's gonna work.
Yeah, so forget it. Yeah. You have to be very, very good, or it's not gonna work.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, though, guys exchange ways. But this sauce thing, guys, I'm not joking. This is going to open up a little Pandora's box because, guys, again, we come from a season where guys are using buzzers, computers, You think there's not going to be guys out there sitting in their beds and saying, "Wait,
we've gone.
wait,
We're not
going to get tested."
We've gone as low as trash cans.
Hey, by the way, I don't think guys will sit there. Somebody out there will say, "Hey, you hear this? How about try with this doctor?"
Yeah, but I'm just saying though. But that's because you don't have time for that. There's guys out there that are always trying to get better.
There's always a way.
There's always a way. How do you think they find out the sticky stuff?
And you
do you
see,
think, by the way, do you think the sticky stuff? It was just a bunch of guys saying, "If I do this with the ball,
by the way,
guys were like, man."
But then Donaldson came out and says, "Go get that sticky stuff."
By the way, Major League Baseball in this argument they have right now, in these conversations, they had to come up with something legal
that pitchers can use.
Pitcher can use, because it's not, they're going to lose a lot of players, they got a lot of people. Just go there and you can do this with this.
No, I have a question though.
You want
to see guys start using Manscaped MLB? Start a rumor, a guy that has a really good season, and they say, hey, what'd you do? I said, I put Manscaped on my balls, and then in between these, I put my hand in my cup, and then I bring it out, and it gives me a job. Trust me. There's kids out there that are pissing in their hands because there was a rumor.
That was Moises Alou
would urinate in his hands. Moises would go and urinate in his hands, and then he wash it, and that gave them more. You know how many kids were like this? How many times I was like, "This is a shower."
How about this one? I say in the paper one day in the media, I say, when I struggle, I use ice drop and put it in my bat. They can see better. My bat always got something inside. He never wake up.
Guys are always looking to find a way to gain an edge.
Yes.
This steroid situation is going to open it up. It is going to make guys say, "Oh, this guy's having a good season." But again, can I judge a guy that has millions of dollars in play to live a little on the edge?
It's one thing I say, like, man, it's the players. They got a lot of money and they still got caught doing that. Like, come on.
Well, I'm saying that's a priority of greed. If I already got paid, that's why I love Davis, the guy from the Orioles, Chris Davis.
What happened?
Because he got paid and he didn't do anything. He sucked afterwards. Oh. He let the pressure. Some guys would have.
I cannot gonna say that. You know why? I know how that feel, because I get paid with Miami Marlins, and I just like
but they fired you. He didn't produce. At least he gave. But I'm saying though, he could have gone easily and said the pressure of hitting, because again,
the pressure of hitting in Baltimore.
No, the pressure of just hitting. Period. Like he was the man. Like he could have said, "Oh, I'm having mental issues." He could have sauced, but he said, "You know what?" He took it like a man. I'm not gonna say that because that's probably like the wrong thing to say. Took it like a human, and just dealt with it. But he could have been a guy that, because a lot of guys say, "Well, I took steroids because of the pressure of the game." Like A-Rod said that I wanted to be the best of the best, and I did it because of that. And it's like, well, not really, because again, you're putting your legacy in play. Like, I'll give you an example. Miguel right now, Cabrera, shouldn't even be taking Tylenol.
Yeah, because
I'm just saying, like, you're so close. Just you have 4 years to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
like,
because everybody be like, okay,
everyone, you don't get a DWI. Don't get in an argument in your kid's school. Don't say anything on Twitter. Like, I take all his social media away. I try to keep it just in case, because again, the other day was Roberto Alomar's birthday, and only like his brother and like 3 people posted this thing up.
I did. I forgot. I don't know.
I'm just saying though, but you're not his brother. I'm saying like other teams that he played for. Yeah. Usually you get the love from the team the day that you played. This guy's a Hall of Famer. No one put up. It's like Sammy, the Sammy Screwjob. Nobody remembers Sammy.
No, that's a shame.
And before we sign off, I don't know what, like, does Major League Baseball want to erase his memory?
They want to erase Sammy. They talk more about Shoeless Joe Jackson than they do about Sammy Sosa.
Like Shoeless Joe Jackson's on that list. They gambled on the World Series. I'm like,
no, but people tell you this, but Shoeless was not in it. Who told you that? You weren't there. You might have been the ringleader of it.
Wait a minute. Pete Rose is there, and Pete Rose is correct.
So what did Sammy do?
So what did Sammy do?
So I got to look at. I don't even have to look at.
If you're 600 home runs and you're not in the top 100 of baseball, ridiculous. That list right off the bat, I'm like, it's Manny on the list. It's Big Poppin'. I'm like, oh man.
In that list, obviously that list is very hard because a lot of
Jim Tomey's number 98.
Different opinions.
By the way, Jim Tomey's number 98 on the list. That's way too high for me.
Different opinions. A lot of people have different opinions, but to me, it's one guy in Espn say, you know what, a producer. Hey, I need a list tomorrow. Call people there. I need a list tomorrow to put this on the game. And the guys go there. Hey, what you doing?
I would love to sit with those guys and says, who created this list? Why are you picking?
They don't do that because they go from one week to another. Like, hey, they don't go one by one. Again, it's too hard.
We got comments out there. Too hard. Before we sign off, we had comments this past week of people saying, move Joan Moncada to left field. Okay,
I also saw a comment on Twitter that says a lot of Sox fans want Yohan Moncada to do juice. On the Twitter, a lot of Sox fans
but you know what I told them too? Because they're picking on him. Why just Yohan? They juice them all because they all need it.
Especially, you know who?
The pitchers.
The pitchers.
That's what I'm saying. So they said Yohan. I said, oh, but what about Pantera? What about this guy? What about that? No. There's a lot of guys. The only guy that can say he's got a little baby MVP. He got a baby MVP. Pito got a baby MVP. But he's had good numbers. Everybody else, don't pick on Yohan alone. No, but I'm saying guys now, the writers, they're throwing stories out there. I just read this morning. The writers now, we were just talking about the guy, they're throwing stuff out like the possibility of Rizzo returning to Chicago. I'm like, that's your inside information? The possibility? I'm like, yeah. You know who's going to come back too? Joe Madden. There's a possibility he might get traded to the Cubs.
He's not coming back.
He's not coming back. There's just, you cannot just throw out there because you're bored and throw out these crazy scenarios of, I'm going to play, like, oh yeah, we're going to trade to the White Sox. They're going to get Mike Trout on a two-way trade with Ohtani. Yeah. Like, you can't make those, like,
no facts.
You can make that comment, okay, if you're me, who is not an official writer. I am just a fan who had a great sperm race, who has a great baseball background. I won a great sperm race, came out of your balls, Manscaped balls, no. Manscaped now, yes. But I won a sperm race. Then I was around the game of baseball. I covered baseball. I was a broadcaster. I was this. I can make a comment like that and I might get away with it. But if you're a BBWA writer and you're getting paid, when people say your writing sucks, I'm not a writer. I'm getting paid for something that you do in your job. You couldn't do my job. John Heeman couldn't come work at my company and do what I do, but I'm doing what he does because the stuff that they're throwing out there.
I do better.
I'm just saying the stuff that they're throwing out there as writers is just so nuts that they're letting two guys. They're letting Gary Sheffield's kid and us and people that are just having shows and common sense are bringing my blood. How can writers not say, before we close out, that this rule of not drug testing because of collective bargaining might come back and become an issue? How is that not common sense?
It's crazy. I'm telling you, that's why I told the guys when I'm working on TV, I say, why guys, I'm doing what you guys did. You guys never will do what I did.
Well, by the way, there's a couple things they can't do that you did.
What?
Well, number one, I'll throw you this easy. Number one, you have like third grade education. Legal. Yeah. Okay, number two.
Come from another country.
You hit 1,500 hits in Major League Baseball. I don't care if they don't count the hits in Major League Baseball because now they don't count hitting. That's a lot of hits.
That's a lot of years.
That's a lot of years in the big league. So they can't do that either. Coaching in the big leagues, managing in the big leagues, even if you're a crappy manager.
Yeah.
Even, by the way, you and Ned Jones, when people say this, because they say all the time to Manny Acta, oh, Manny Acta, you only managed 5 years. He goes, yeah, 5 years more than any other person like this.
Yes.
So like people say, oh, Ned Jones, he got lucky in the World Series. Guess what? He got one. You think if they told Dusty, you wish you had a World Series, got lucky?
Yeah, of course.
Or Felipe Alou?
Yes.
Like a lucky World Series? Do you think that the Mets, their manager sits there and says, man, that lucky bounce under that he sits there and says, I didn't win it clean.
Yeah.
Do you think he thinks that?
No.
Do you think in his house he says, oh yeah, this ring, Bill Buckner era. If not, we don't have it.
No.
But that's what I'm saying though. So all these people try to tell you like,
okay. What the guy from AJ Hinch say?
He wears it.
He hides it.
No, he wears it.
No, I don't think
he's ashamed of that.
He should be ashamed.
He's ashamed.
Maybe he is, but I know the players.
I bet you they are. That's why they want to get one so bad.
But I think today they're ashamed. 20 years from now,
the people don't. I mean, I don't wear my.
Well, that's your personal choice.
I said, why do people
put it this way? Before we sign off, if you were AJ Hinch,
you'd be bad.
If you were my father, you were AJ Hinch.
I would be embarrassed.
I'd be embarrassed.
Yeah, you should.
That's my honest.
You should.
By the way, I wear my class ring.
By the way,
I can't be wearing my World Series.
No, I never wear my ring because people say, hey, what? I'm kind of embarrassed.
I have a question. Again, we need to sign off, but we give you so much shit because of stuff you said in the past. We always make fun of you. We get on you all the time. My mom gets on you. Do you imagine if you had cheated in your World Series?
Imagine that.
I might be divorced.
Imagine that. Like
imagine my mom bringing up all the time that you cheated in the World Series.
Well, I did.
I
did. I told the guy, you scored back, guy. You scored back.
No,
when Conejo hit down wrong, I caught the bat, bring it for a minute. Bro, just make it something.
No, don't start that rumor. Hey, you think you're joking around? They might investigate.
They investigate. Good. I hope somebody say, use it, I will sue them.
Major League
I will sue them.
If they want to come after you, okay, they will make everything possible.
Hey, more than welcome.
I know, but I'm saying though, like when they want to ban somebody, hey, John Heyman just made a rumor.
More than welcome.
When I said that the whole thing about the writers, they're even dumber for not protecting you. He said the real manager was our friend Joey. I was like, and I said, there's four guys, okay? There's four guys that are your co-workers, okay? That wrote for the team beat writers, that wrote books on the greatness of Ozzie Guillen managing. So you're calling those guys liars? That's what I'm saying. Common sense is not so common.
But that's
we
why
will see you guys next week here on Being Guillen. Not Being Guillen, Guillen's World.
Guillens World.
Guillen's World.
la vida de los Guillens, el mundo de los Guillens.
Guillen's World. By the way, Manscaped code Guillens 20. Have your balls fresh. Use it. Check it out. It works great. I did. Guillen's World. Check it out. See you guys soon.
Before it hits the front page.